You're watching Hellbent Holler live, part of the Hellbent Media Network. Grab a drink, settle in, and get ready for the show. All right, let's do a sound check. Let us know that you can see us and hear us, and we will get started with the show. Hope everybody's doing good. Can you check that for me while I'm doing this? Check it here.
All good.
Perfect. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. My name is Jessie. This is Joe. This is our Monday show that we do at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday. It's our little hangout that we have with our viewers, and it's pretty free form. We have a couple of things planned for today, but usually it's pretty free form, and we go along with the chat and the conversation. So you guys can ask us questions about all kinds of stuff: paranormal, cryptid, Bigfoot, Dogman, all kinds of stuff. And we have one of the best chats in the genre because we have such a wide array of people that watch and get involved in these. So if you're new to the show, that is what we do. That's our Monday ritual. And
it's kind of our gig.
It's kind of our gig. Hey, that's our grift. So I'm glad you guys are here. It's been a whirlwind of a week. I feel like I say that every Monday. I feel like every Monday I come on here and I'm like, it's been a whirlwind, but it's always a whirlwind.
Well, it's because we hit it hard over the weekends and then get home, get unpacked, and start the mundane life Monday morning, and then rush straight to this. So
yeah. So making sure everybody's saying we can hear you. Perfect. Sweet, sweet. All right.
Alrighty.
Oh, somebody thought that spray was something. Yeah, it's on me. Look, it's on my face. I meant to redo that so I don't look like I have like a splattering all over my forehead. If
You
I
got like a Gorbachev birthmark there, man.
Yeah, so, I do. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this graphic. So. All right, so awesome, guys. Yeah, we've switched to the green background. I feel like it's a good contrast with the orange logo. I think it looks really cool and it stands out. I really dig it. So we got up.
Grab it, so keep going.
Yeah, we got up to all kinds of stuff this weekend. And this week, we were very busy this week. We managed to, we went out over the weekend and not a lot happened in North Georgia.
Nothing happened in North Georgia. And we were psyched for it too. So
yeah, because we were like super excited about getting back to North Georgia and really, diving in and getting back to that. So yeah, Joe's already gone. Joe gave up already.
I'm done.
But we were excited about getting back to North Georgia because we've had so much stuff happen there. We have just a vast array of evidence from there, and it was pretty quiet. So we decided to skedaddle on down the road, and we ended up doing a members only live as kind of a follow-up to a live we did Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did one Tuesday. We had one of our hellbenders as a house guest for a few days last week. He sat in for us recording last Monday's show, but he actually went out with us into the Grove on Tuesday, which is pretty cool. It was kind of neat to introduce another person into the mix of things. So it was just really cool to bring somebody else along and see how that kind of affected the activity. So yeah, it was pretty wild. So I do have some clips from those member only live investigations. We did live streams from the Grove for our members and some weird stuff happened, but I do have some excerpts and some clips from those that I'm actually going to show you guys so that we can kind of talk about what the heck happened.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Eddie Russell. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Eddie Russell.
Thank you, Eddie Russell. So we did a couple of like impromptu like member streams from the Grove, like Jesse said. We took our boy Denim Devil out with us once, just to see what introducing like a third party was going to have, what sort of effect that would have. It did not have the effect that I expected it to. So, and we'll get to that, I guess, when we get ready for the clips here. But and then we went back after North Georgia was a bust, and it was weird because we were psyched up for North Georgia. We were like going, we've just got a feeling it's going to be really active out there. We haven't really been there in a while. And then we were there and nothing happened at all. It just felt dead. It was very disappointing. And then something told us, we were just like, actually we were looking at it as the moon was coming up. It was a big, bright moon. And we were going, man, we feel like we should be in the Grove right now, even though we're trying to tear ourselves away from it.
Yeah, that's that's the thing about it is in our last video that we released, hunting Bigfoot at night, that was in the Grove. And at the end, I think we were so frustrated. We were like, we've got to get out of here. We got to get some distance from this. And you see how well that worked out for us. We went right back. We couldn't stay away from it. And I don't like the lack of control that we're displaying by doing that, by saying, all right, we're not doing this, but then something keeps drawing us back into this area.
It's almost like, and this is how I felt that the lack of activity in Georgia, and I know I'm kind of putting a personality to the phenomenon at this point, but it was almost like it was going, no, we're not going to give you what you want, where you want it at. You're going back to where we want you to be at. Because quite honestly, I'm ready to take a step back from the Grove at this point.
Yeah.
But at the same token, we have to go to where the activity seems to be at. And right now, that's the most consistent spot we've ever been at.
Yeah.
There's been nothing major. It's not like you and I have like seen anything there,
I got a thermal of whatever that was.
Like a 6 foot, broad daylight sighting from something like 6 feet away.
Right.
But we've had pretty consistent activity every time we've been out there. So anyway, all right.
So I'm going through here.
All right, so.
All right, I'm looking in the old chat.
Stephen Taylor wanted to know how many holes we fell in. There's so many damn holes out there.
Yeah, the Grove is absolutely just packed with holes. It is
hole packed.
Hole packed.
It is hole packed. So
it's a Swiss cheese environment. Yeah, and there's one there that I kicked a rock into. It was like 3.5 feet deep, but I was like, oh my God, I'm going to break my leg.
It's like Mel's hole. You drop the lead weight in, you never hear it hit the bottom. So, I mean, that damn thing was like, what, 2 feet deep? Which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a lot to stumble into at night.
Not paying attention to
when you don't not paying attention. So
yeah, so we got some weird readings when we were out there on Tuesday. We did a member stream on Tuesday. We had Denim Devil with us, and he kind of pulled security for us, and we dipped into the pine swamp a little bit and checked out. Sorry, I'm trying to watch the chat and do this.
I'm getting it.
Okay,
so.
whatever you want to do. But we dipped into the pine forest and, you know, kind of checked out an area. I had like a weird feeling. I wanted to go into the pine forest in this particular area. So we went in, and then Joe pulls out the instrumentation and starts getting just crazy readings on the tri-field. And then he starts getting weird readings on the spectrum analyzer. So we have the clip from that. I'll cue that up in a second and we can check that out. And then we decided on Saturday, when nothing was going on in North Georgia, to go back, and we had some weird stuff happen then too. So we are definitely going to show you guys that.
So we take one of the Hellbenders, Denim Devil, out with us, so he can kind of see it. Now, here's what's interesting about that. Every time we introduce like a third party to stuff, it seems like activity just, you know. We've had some paranormal activity when you've taken our friend Katie out with us, who's like a ghost hunter. But the physical, maybe Bigfoot, Dogman stuff, everything like that, it just introducing a third party just seems to kill it.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, he was like, I don't want to say psyched. I don't want to say scared. He was trepidatious about going out into the grove.
Yeah.
So he took like a little sack of protection.
A sack of protection.
Sack of protection. This little like protective, like
it's like a mojo bag.
Bag that Jesse had made for him because he was having some weird activity around his house.
So he was having some weird experiences concerning Spearfinger, actually.
Yeah.
And it was scaring him, and like he was showing me what was going on and telling me about what's going on. So he asked me to make him something as a protective measure against whatever kind of weird evil spirit may be kind of creeping in on his life. And so I made him that, sent it to him, and he's been using it, and it's helped him a lot. Well, he was so kind of psyched out about going to the Grove and going into that area that he actually brought his bag with him and had it around his neck. So we were like, okay, we'll see how this does. We'll see if this like scares something off, or if this like will agitate it, because we don't really know what we're dealing with. We don't really know what kind of elements are involved here. The Grove is still very much a mystery. Despite how many times we've been out there, it's still a huge mystery to us at this point. So new swag, the Hellbent Holler sack of protection. So I'm also, speaking of merch, I'm working on getting the store put together. I know I said I'd do that earlier, but I'm actually connecting with a local merchandising thing in our local hometown. And so there might actually be like actual merch.
Yeah. We're getting hats from Stitch Witch.
Yeah. And then there might be like actual merch that we're going to do and have like a whole merch setup. So I'm working on setting up this Shopify and putting that together with this local shop and doing like actual merch. So
do a hat run, a patch run from Stitch Witch, and then do shirts, and then
we might be getting embossed leather patches.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Embossed leather patches, which are really nice. They're really cool. So we're excited about that. If you'll pay attention to the chat too.
Thank you for that, Curtis Whitaker, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Curtis. Heck yeah. So despite the fact that we've been in the Grove so many times, we have no idea what exactly is going on out there. It seems like when we first started going out there,
I have an idea what's going on out there.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's not, we won't, I don't know.
Am I going to have to send out invoices if you talk about it?
Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't match up with, well, I don't know. I don't want to go into it right now, but I'm getting more and more of an idea of what I think is going on out there.
Okay. But you want some time to maybe develop your theory a little bit before you.
Well, that, and it just sounds so damn crazy. It sounds crazy. So, but
Oh, everybody's telling you to spill the beans, Joe.
Spill the beans show. It's just, it sounds,
Park ranger spills the baby
it
beans.
sounds wackadoo, but it is, it's just crazy anyway. But the more we're out there, especially with what happened with, and I know I sound like I'm drawing it out, and I guess I am in a way. I just don't want to, I'm pulling a David Paulides. See how David Paulides always goes, I don't want to say it because then if I'm wrong, but I just, especially with what happened with Denim Devil,
Okay.
that was just weird. But anyway, go ahead.
All right.
So,
okay. A lot of no information there from Joe.
I'm
Thanks.
just saying, but I saying we don't know what's going on out there. I'm just saying I'm starting to have my suspicions.
So you're developing a theory.
I'm developing a theory
Okay.
right now.
We'll leave it at dude out with it.
Dude out with it. All right. So
that's a no. I feel like you're about to ease into something and then you stop.
I might talk about it once we show these clips.
Okay.
We'll see how
That
the mood
sounds
takes
good.
me.
I'm like, are you going to say something or not? What's happening here? This is like, I'm getting like the blue balls equivalent of paranormal information right now. So I just don't know what to throw out there. So
everybody's let's play the clips. All right, so we take Denim Devil out. He's got his little Harry Potter sack of protection, whatever the hell it is, and it's quiet as hell out there. It's super quiet, super quiet. We're kind of walking along talking. Jesse's streaming, and then Jesse dips into the woods. She just picks like an area at random. And later on, I asked her, what made you pick this particular spot to go into? And she was like, oh, well, there were some vines that were looked like they were kind of torn down and everything like that. I don't know if that's what drew you in or not, because I think that you saw those once you were in.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like you dipped at random. So we took a spectrum analyzer and we took our tri-field meter out with us, which is when we're not going to take the full sensor tech suite out. That's generally that's our grab and go stuff.
Right.
Our big.
Well, the tri-field is multi-purpose.
Yeah. And then our wide sweep spectrum analyzer. And I don't even know what it maxes out at, like 6 gigahertz or something like that. But it's got a real wide sweep on it of what it'll measure. And I started taking readings, and the damn things are off like the charts, like off the freaking charts. Nothing with an electric field, but the magnetic field, and then a really strong RF signal out there.
Yeah.
The magnetic field was freaking insane. It was like leveling out.
I've got that in the clip, actually.
You should play that. Let's
roll that beautiful bean footage. All right.
Hold on a second. This is just too good. The blue balls of paranormal investigation. Insert first time meme. So.
All right. You can entertain the fine folks if you want to.
Hold on.
Grove number 1.
Everybody's talking about blue balls.
Well.
Somebody had said blue balls paranormal. The chat's running so damn fast, and I'm so sleepy. It was a rough freaking weekend. Here we go. Blue balls paranormals. Julie Bug sounds like a shirt. Remember that blue balls paranormal, because that's gonna be a new thing now.
Didn't the Project Fear guys have that weird where they would get trashed and go golfing, and
was that called blue balls?
They called it blue balls.
Oh shit, that's taken. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Sorry, Julie.
They would get trashed and puke on the golf course and stuff and play golf. So, all right. So I'm going to throw this up here. Let's hide all these comments. Let's throw this bad boy up here.
So this is a clip from when we went out on a brief members only stream with Denim Devil, taking a hellbender into the field with us there. Look at that face. All right.
That's how it starts out. You mean just put it full screen? How about that? Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of that. So now you can see, you get the whole experience, everybody. All right. Since we had so many equipment failures, we brought some of our instrumentation to try to see if there's any anomalies, if we can pick up any anomalies of anything going on out here. I know some people mentioned that it might be the presence of all this quartz, or it might be the presence of ley lines. There were a lot of suggestions about what this could be. So we brought... What is that doing?
Going freaking crazy. It just turned it on.
My face there. Right?
That's going insane.
I don't have it on electric or RF right now, which would be what your phone would be giving off. It's on magnetic. It's picking up a really strong magnetic field, like an insanely strong magnetic field.
That's really, look, it's going crazy.
What made you decide to do equipment right here?
I just wanted to because I thought I had a weird feeling over here. Something's weird about over here.
All right, so hold on. Let me check the RF. That's your phone. That's your telephone. Right?
Okay.
So, well, I don't know if that's your phone. I'm gonna have to let me bust out the spectrum analyzer. But that, given that you're live streaming right now,
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Because this goes across a wide range of signals.
Uh-huh.
So I can't tell what it's picking up.
Yeah.
I can just tell it's picking something up.
Yeah.
But the magnetic portion of it,
Yeah.
nothing we have is giving.
That is like going insane. Look, it's like an insanely strong signal. It just maxed out. It's like going, it's maxing out right now.
This is, I don't know what to say. All right, hold on. Nothing off your phone for that, for electrical. For the RF.
So the pulsating for the RF is
That's
the
your
phone.
phone. That's your phone, but I don't know what, there might be another signal going on there, but that is what I expect. So when you bring it up in close, that's your telephone.
Yeah.
Giving an RF signal out. And see how that's, well, I'm getting away from your phone and I'm starting to get another. I wasn't expecting this.
That shouldn't be doing that.
No, it shouldn't
Do you
be
have it
doing
on
that.
magnetic?
Yeah, this is a magnetic field. We're picking up magnetic.
So you're getting a magnetic anomaly.
Very strong magnetic.
What?
Are you kidding me?
What's up?
Through here is where your phone's at, probably. That's a 1.7 gigahertz signal that's super freaking strong. Come here real quick, see if you can get it on camera.
Yeah.
So it's 1.7 gigahertz that we're picking up really strong. Your phone's down through here.
Okay.
So
you're getting a signal.
right around that 1.6, 1.7 gigahertz, like weird signal, like the
Yeah.
weird frequency. So
we're getting that anomalous signal that we've been getting in strange areas like the LBL.
and I'm getting your phone. Your phone's on here. Your phone's fine. That's the
Okay.
same thing the tri-field meter picked up. But I'm getting a super strong, that is the strongest signal around that range that I've ever freaking seen. And it's pulsing. It just
Right here.
disappeared and now it's back.
So my phone's on that lower end right there.
Your phone's right here. That's
Yeah.
your phone right there.
Okay.
That's the strong signal we see down on the,
Yeah.
bam, it's back. So I don't know, man.
That's huge.
Weird.
That's a huge spike.
That's a huge spike. So hold on.
Yeah, 1.6, 1.7 is what they got on Skinwalker Ranch. That is correct. You still getting those magnetic spikes?
Not as strong, but pretty strong.
Yeah.
So if it was your phone,
It would be the same thing as
it'd
it
be the same
was.
thing as it was, but now it's weaker.
Whoa, as soon as that spiked, this spiked.
Yes.
They spiked at the exact same time.
And they're measuring different things. Now I'm on RF.
Well, that's weird. All right. Sorry, my mother texted me in the middle of my show. Thank you, Patty. All right. So that was pretty wild.
Real quick, so let's quantify this a little bit.
Yeah.
We were picking up the RF from your cell phone.
Yes.
Okay. Which is what I would expect when we're streaming. We know to expect that. Your phone does not give off a magnetic field when it's streaming.
No.
And you're going to see that in this next clip. But we were picking up like an insanely strong magnetic field that was at times maxing out the tri-field meter's ability to read it.
Right.
And then we were picking up some minor signals, one of which was probably your phone. There were some planes going overhead. We were probably picking up some avionics signals and stuff like that. We were picking up an insanely strong that was bouncing around like the upper 1.6 gigahertz into the lower 1.7 gigahertz. And that was like an insanely strong signal. That magnetic field was maxing out the tri-field. That was that like that screeching sound you're hearing. So much so that at one point I'm like, I don't know, should we be standing here? That was like insanely strong. Usually you get decently powerful fluctuations, but they're interesting because you're in the middle of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
This was the equivalent of like standing next to like a microwave oven that was like running or something like that at times. It was wild. Nothing on the no electrical field at all. Really super strong RF signal. Really super strong magnetic field that we were picking up. Didn't have the Geiger counter with us. Didn't have some of the other stuff with us. I don't know what else was going on out there. But no activity like that we heard or saw. Crazy sensor readings. We got a third party out there with us, Denim Devil. He's got his little mojo bag.
Yes.
So we go to North Georgia. Nothing happens. It was just a
Mm-hmm.
freaking bust. We were super psyched for it. We were geared up like a mofo for that.
Because we've gotten so much crazy stuff in North Georgia. We've gotten audio phenomenon. We've gotten light phenomenon. We've captured a ton of stuff in North Georgia. We have all of that occult activity going on up there that we found evidence of. And we were just super psyched to get out of the Grove for a change and get back to North Georgia. And I hate to say it. Is it weird that I want to get out of the Grove and let's just get back to the cults?
Get back to the weird dark stuff.
Let's get back to the weird dark stuff.
Well, because a lot of times it's not as frustrating as dealing with like the Grove at this point. But what's weird is, so we're seeing a magnetic field spike and an RF signal spike simultaneously. But again, I would have to go back through our notes and our footage to see if we've ever picked up that strong of a signal out in the woods before. Now, people were going, oh, it's your telephone. It's your phone streaming. No, it's not. We were picking up an RF signal from her phone when it's streaming like that. That's not that super strong signal that we were picking up. And you're going to see that in a few minutes when we're streaming again and the equipment's just dead. Nothing. People were saying it's the quartz, not the quartz, because we were out streaming again on the quartz with all of the sensor tech, but no mojo bag out with us. Here's my crazy ass theory. Having a third person out there and or having whatever's in that bag precluded us from hearing or seeing anything, but there was a lot of crazy negative energy in the air, almost like something was pissed off that bag. And that's, I know that's, I got a narrative and I'm running crazy with it right now.
I will say that we don't have a lot of data prior to us going out there with a third person and the mojo bag. We don't have a lot of data concerning this data collection equipment. So,
but that jumped into my head as soon as we got that. I was just like, something's pissed off.
But there is definitely a huge contrast between what our readings are and then our experiences between those two trips in a short amount of time. And you'll see in the second clip that it's completely flip-flopped. Is like stuff happens, but our readings are just not there. So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to keep trying this and kind of, God, does that mean we have to go back to the Grove again?
Probably go back to the Grove again. But here's the deal: is that now we need to introduce stuff that in and of itself doesn't give off these like readings, okay, but has paranormal or supernatural significance, like the stuff that you had in that bag. Introduce stuff out there to see if things that have a folkloric protective nature to them, but don't emit RF or magnetic frequencies or anything like that, see if those things cause something to emit those readings, if that makes sense. And I was a little stacked, like little all over the place there, because I'm trying to think it through in my head, because I'm going, that was the change for it. So then we go out again with no third person, no mojo bag. We go out, we pick a spot with a bunch of quartz. We're streaming with the phone. We run the equipment, and it's like we're in a dead zone. Nothing at all. Nothing on the equipment.
Centurion Legios Hicks goes, not crazy at all, Joe.
But
go on. Sorry.
All right. So then we go out there and do that, and we don't pick up any of the weird signals, but we hear stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever we heard made the coyotes go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can hear it when Jesse plays this. We're talking and it starts up, and it's like a bellow. It's like something's bellowing. It's like a wah, like, and then whatever this is, like every coyote for miles goes crazy immediately
Yeah.
afterwards. Like
So
they're either scared or pissed off or something.
Oh,
like
it's
that.
an explosion.
Yeah,
like
it's an explosion.
So
but-
this second clip that I'm going to show you guys is from our second members live stream of the week. We
Mhm.
did this Saturday night.
when North Georgia was a bust, and
Yeah.
we'll probably release that North Georgia
So that
footage.
first,
It's creepy, but I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing happened.
yeah. So that first clip was from Tuesday. We went out with Denim Devil. The second clip is from Saturday. It was just Joe and I. And we went out there, and it seems like the activity went crazy, but the readings were null. So
And what's crazy is it was deader than what I would have expected. Because
Yeah.
again, we're not in some deep wilderness. I would expect to pick. You're not going to pick up a magnetic field. You're not going to pick up
but
an
some
electric
RF
field.
signals could be expected.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And guess what? We picked up a little bit, but I think even at one point, if you play that clip, I go, I'm not even picking up what I would expect to pick up right now.
Uh-huh.
Because there's planes going overhead. You hear the planes going overhead a lot. And in the past, we've picked up some, because that's a pretty decent spectrum analyzer
Mhm.
to pick up signals out of the air with. And I'm even going, I'm not even picking up what I would expect to pick up on that lower band at this point. And I'm definitely not picking up that 1.6, 1.7 gigahertz signal. But then that night is when the woods were alive. Okay. So anyway.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up there. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, hell, there's chunks. Shh, shh. Equipment started going up. Geiger counters spiked a little bit right as you heard that.
I don't think that's an owl, Joe.
We might, let's pack this equipment up. Let's move in that direction.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's like, whoa. Whoa.
And it almost ends with like a P sound, like a consonant. But
It's a consonant mystery.
but,
Damn, that was loud just now. Sorry, we're trying to pack this up.
damn it. It's time for a new headlamp. Switch is going.
Do you want to take the forestry road to try to go check out that sound? I don't want to get lost in the pine swamp again.
Yeah, no.
I'm kind of, I really don't want to
Worried
do
about
that.
so.
Now there's ants all over that. Be careful.
Radioactive ants.
I heard it again.
What's that?
We're going to have to go that way. See if we can get closer to it. Determine if it's an owl or what the heck it is. Because it's just making...
That's not a fucking owl. Did you just hear that? That's a man.
Shut up. Stop moving, please.
Those are coyotes answering it. Whatever that was, it just set the coyotes off like a motherfucker.
That's super close. Joe?
I'm dead. You just let me get back up. Whatever that was, just set the coyotes off. Here, hold on.
Oh my God.
Whatever that first thing was, set
They're
them all
close
off.
too.
Yeah, set them all off. All right.
Shh. Yo, hey.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I'm unzipping.
Yeah.
I'm unzipping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever that was before I set those coyotes off, man.
Really kicked them off.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah, that really kicked them off. What? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now? We muted it while we were playing that.
All right.
So
So
we go back.
bizarre.
We go back. What's different this time?
We went to the same area, and then that's where we set up all of our equipment again. We actually had the Geiger this time.
No Denim Devil, no Mojo bag.
Yeah.
This time, I'm not getting the weird readings, but the woods just come alive. They just come alive. We were hearing these weird, almost sounded like an owl, but long and drawn out, didn't have the cadence of an owl. We were picking up a bird. Goshawk told us what the bird was. I can't remember what the name of the bird was.
And he also said that it was very odd that it was going off in the spring and at night.
And at night, but we heard this bellow. And if you didn't hear it, play this live stream over again with headphones on, but you hear this bellow before the coyotes start. And then the coyotes just like go nuts.
Yeah, they go ballistic.
And I don't know if they're singing with this sound, if they're pissed off, they're scared.
If
what's
there was
going
an
on?
attack.
Yeah, I wasn't
Did you
thinking
think
about
about
that.
that?
I wasn't thinking about that, but it was just nuts. I mean, it was nuts. And keep in mind, this is off Jesse's cell phone that we're streaming.
Yeah.
It's not like we're using like our shotgun mic or any of our sensitive audio recorders. Just the standard microphone on a Samsung Galaxy. What do you got? Like an S20?
Yeah, 20
Ultra or something like that. Good microphone, ain't the best. And the fact that we were able to pick that up should tell you how loud it was. I mean, it was just there was power behind it.
Goshawk says it's the Swanson's thrush fall migration call.
And we're in the spring and it's at night.
Yeah.
But when we first got in there were birds going crazy. There were birds going. We'd been in there in warmer weather before and never heard all of the birds were agitated. Something was agitating these birds. And it was kind of weird as we were walking in. And early on, we heard like a whistle. When the birds went quiet, we heard a, almost like somebody trying to get your attention. And we even just went, there's like somebody in here with us. Couldn't find anybody. Couldn't see anybody on the flashlights. Couldn't pick up.
Of course, when we do these live streams, we have the chat up and everything. So like these are members live streams. So people give me suggestions of stuff to do. I don't remember who it was, but somebody goes, whistle back. Like, so I started whistling and everybody's like, yeah. So it's kind of interactive when we do these members live streams like this, when we do these investigations.
So I don't know what's going on. Thank you for that, Ray. That was intense. That was a scary night. What's crazy is it was a very calm night up until that point. We were hearing stuff, but here's the deal. Sometimes you hear things that are like right on the cusp. You're going, that doesn't sound like a normal owl, but maybe it's still just an owl. Okay? Yeah. Sometimes a weird owl sounds just a weird owl sound. Sometimes you just go, it sounds owl-like, but it doesn't quite sound what you would expect an owl to sound.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's just long and drawn out. We were hearing owl sounds almost like barred owls, but they were long and drawn out. There was only one like woo, and then it would like end with a P sound, like almost like a long drawn out whoop.
Yeah.
Does that sound? But even then, we're just going, that sounds weird, but it's not the smoking gun. And then we heard that bellow, and whatever that bellow was, I mean, we don't have moose around here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell, or like an elk
I
out there.
love your leaps of logic.
I know
that
exactly.
You drew.
Well, I'm trying
Is
to
this
think
an escaped kangaroo?
what could make a harsh. I don't know. That was like just a vocalization. I don't know what the hell to explain that.
Is this
A
a
bellow.
hot? Is this a hot dog eating champion out in the woods?
It bellowed really loudly, very loudly.
Oh.
So, and then it made,
and then right on the tail of it, it just that explosion.
and we weren't talking quietly. We were talking normally, and they did not.
We don't ever talk quietly.
Yeah. And then we get that like once a day. You guys are not going to be able to sneak up on anything being as loud. And I'm going, we're not trying to sneak up on something. We're trying to piss something off or make something curious to come up and check out who we are and what we're doing. And then hopefully it gets a little too close and we get it on the cameras or we get it on the thermal. Anyway.
But now we're just getting a lot of audio phenomenon out in the Grove now. It really started with that hunting Bigfoot at night video I released a week or two ago, where that whooping, chattering, gibbon type sound was like drawing us in a direction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first the quartz were leading us in a direction, then that drew us in a different direction, and then we got completely lost in the pine swamp.
Yeah.
So the audio stuff that's coming through now is getting very interesting. And it seems like it's getting consistent, except when we had Denim Devil with his mojo bag out there.
So now the next step is to go into the Grove and take stuff that is considered, excuse me, traditionally kind of like repellent to like the paranormal.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Holy water, black salt, whatever you have in that mojo bag, some like protective type stuff.
Yeah.
To see that when we take that stuff out, if we don't have any like audio or visual activity, but we get weird sensor readings then.
Well, what if,
excuse me,
since we're going to, all right, so I think we should treat the Grove as our outdoor lab in a way.
That is going to be our outdoor lab. We're going to
and we can live stream to our members when we do these experiments.
Because what haven't we deployed out there yet?
We have not deployed the beacon.
Generating up a really strong electromagnetic field.
Because obviously there's something going on with the electromagnetic field out there if we're getting those crazy readings.
And then we will generate that 1.6 gigahertz signal and see what happens.
Yeah.
So we need to do that solo, individually, with nothing else going on.
Mm-hmm.
Then we need to deploy the beacon with the protective stuff. And I know it's like we're getting into some real weird, we're getting to like some alchemy out there.
Well, here's another thing.
Because that's my thing is that we've only gotten Bigfoot reports up until we got that weird bull report. But I'm just going to say it right now. If there's an aggressive 7 or 8 foot tall hairy hominid in that patch of woods, there's enough people around there that if it was going to get caught, captured, killed, that's where it would happen at. But that ain't happening yet. But yet people are getting chased out of those woods there. Then we find small footprints. We find oversized canine prints. We find canine prints that are freaking huge, damn near 6 inches like in length out there.
Moondog Davis and the freaking laser beams, man.
So
Red Wolf asked, he goes, I think I missed something. What is the beacon? So Red Wolf will go back into this. We built a device that generates an electromagnetic field. But it also has infrared light signals on it that are very, very bright. So what's the theory behind this?
So theory behind this is that we were going into these areas, and when we get weird activity, we're picking up strong magnetic fields where there shouldn't be a strong magnetic field in the middle of the woods. We are also picking up that 1.6 gigahertz signal where we shouldn't be, and it's not there all the time. It's only there when we're getting weird activity. So what we did is we built something to introduce that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what we're carrying is portable. It's strong, but my idea is that we're introducing that. And if something is generating this RF signal and this magnetic field, maybe it's going to sense that this is being generated. And again, that's going to make it curious or piss it off, draw it into us. We'll be able to get some sort of footage from it. We call it the beacon because we're introducing introducing signals that aren't normally there into the woods that we're finding with weird activity to see if we can draw whatever is generating this in. We also added some military grade infrared beacons because there's always that trope that these things can see in infrared, which they shouldn't be able to if they're warm-blooded mammals, but they definitely do seem to be able to detect infrared light. So we've got two.
And the signal generator.
Yeah. And then we've got that 1.6, gigahertz signal that we've got pumping out because we have 2 signal generators as well going. So we've had low-level weird activity, like I'd say 75% of the time that we've done that. So
now we want to kind of introduce some stuff to kind of stir it up. What I was also thinking would be another good experiment. Everybody likes this outdoor lab thing. It's kind of we can treat it as like a paranormal outdoor lab. But another thing we can kind of introduce, and I know some people are going to get a little up in arms about it, but we have a little collection of spiritual items from different cultures. Maybe we could introduce spiritual items from different cultures and see if anything like that brings anything about. We have rattles, we have a shofar.
They just used the shofar at the LPO.
Oh, cool.
Some people did.
Okay.
We won't go into what the particulars on that, but people are experimenting with that right now.
Cool. So that might be something we can experiment with. Is a shofar. I have
and
rattles.
Again, keep in mind that supposedly has a certain amount of risk that comes along with it.
Right.
But we have some stuff that came from Australia that our buddy Michael sent us. You've got those Aboriginal clack sticks to like introduce into out there. So I would love to get a bull roar and crank a bull roar out there. That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. So, so we're looking at. All right, so let's just talk about it. We go out there because we are getting stereotypical Bigfoot reports from out of there. Aggressive Bigfoot reports out there. And that's all we're getting. We're not getting reports of mysterious light phenomenon. We're not getting reports of anything at all. We go out there, we start finding big canine prints.
Yes.
We find those little footprints. Okay.
Yeah.
We find those. We see some mysterious light phenomenon on video review, but we didn't even notice it at the time for the most part.
Yes.
Although we're starting to see it now and notice it. We can't pick it up when we're streaming. We got to take the psionics with us when we're out there for the stuff. So we start getting non-Bigfoot activity. Nothing's chased us out of the woods there. We haven't seen that, but we've seen other weird stuff.
Right.
We have that upright bull story that the guy told us about.
Yeah, which we haven't really. Have we shared this on the live?
I think we've shared it on the live. I
know we told Denim Double about it.
We got a report in a really weird synchronistic manner that a guy was in this same area. And let's just go into it, all right? In case we haven't shared it. So we had some plumbing issues. Okay. We had to have some plumbers out here.
And that's not a euphemism.
That's not a euphemism.
It was our house is over 100 years old.
So we got a historic home, and we had some sewer pipe issues. So we had plumbers out here. We had a guy out here for like 3 different days. And the final day he was here for the entire day. He's pretty quiet. We'd interacted with him. I mean, we're good hosts, offering him water and soft drinks and everything like that.
A massage.
So we, when they were finally done, the guy comes up, he's got his little tablet. I got a sign to check off on the work. And he's acting kind of weird. And he goes, can I ask you something? And I'm like, yeah, but if it's going to cost me more money, you can't, And then he just goes, no, and it's kind of an awkward interaction. He kind of stumbles across this and he goes, I like to ask all of my, people that I'm at their homes the entire day what they do for a living. And I just kind of go, or what they do. And I go, bro, if you're trying to pad the bill again, by finding out what we do for a living, I ain't paying more, man, because obviously, we're not wealthy. And he just goes, no, I just, so I go, well, and I tell him what my job is, kind of like a brief description, and then what Jesse does. And he's like, that's it? That's all you guys do? And I'm thinking, all right, because we're into some weird stuff, obviously. We got camera equipment and thermals and everything.
He's coming to our house and he saw all the skulls.
And I'm going, he hasn't been in the living room and seen our library and everything like that. So where's this coming from?
He came through the library.
He didn't walk over to where the books are. He was on the far right side. So I go, all right, dude, this is what we really do. It's probably gonna be the weirdest answer you get if you're really asking everybody you interact with on this. We do Bigfoot and paranormal, like outdoor research. And he just like comes alive. He's just like going, I knew it. I knew something like that was going on. I knew it. I knew it. And I'm kind of standing there. Jesse's over talking to the other dude. And he goes, I knew it. Are you guys familiar with this particular area, which is right where the Grove's at? And I go, we're extremely familiar with that area. Why do you ask? So he starts telling us this.
And he had no idea we'd been going out there.
Doesn't know who we are, anything like that, but he just like comes alive and just starts telling us this story. So when he'd served in the military for several years, he came back. He was stationed out west at a military base that's extremely close to Area 51. And he goes, and there was a lot of weird stuff going on the base out there. But he goes, not like UFO or alien stuff, like paranormal stuff. Seeing like creatures around the perimeter and then like almost like poltergeist activity on the base and everything like that. So he said that when he moved back to South Carolina, he decided to go out and start like kind of legend tripping, kind of like how
we started out.
We started.
Yeah.
So he's in an area near the Grove at night walking. And he says he comes into this like kind of clearing and there's a black bull standing like on all fours in the middle of this clearing. And he said he just stops and looks at it. And I'm going, well, there's no farms near there, right? There's some horse stuff a ways away, but nothing where there would be a bull. And he goes, oh, I'm aware of that. He goes, so he stops and he goes, I look at it and I go, damn it. He goes, if I'd seen like a black bear, I might be able to outrun a black bear. Bears are fast, but he goes, I'm not gonna be able to outrun a bull if this decides to charge me. And he goes, that's when the eyes turn red on him. And I'm like, they turn red, like blood red. And he goes, no, like red flaming lights. He goes, either its lights were lit up the entire time and its eyelids were shut and it opened them up, or the eyes ignited. And I think that's the exact term he used, the eyes ignited. And he goes, I'm just standing there.
Black bull with burning eyes.
So then he goes, it stands up. It stands up. And I'm like, okay. And I'm kind of letting him talk. And I start to ask questions. And I'm going, so when it stood up, did it look like a normal, anatomically just mundane bull standing? And he goes, no, man. He goes, it looked normal on all fours, but I'm just focused on its face and its horns. I'm focused on the head because of the eyes and like the size of these horns, thinking these horns are going to gore me if I try to run. He goes, but everything looked normal. But as it stood up, all of a sudden it's got like shoulders. It looks like it's got like arms as opposed to like forelegs. And I'm like, what did the feet look like? And he's like, no clue, man. Didn't even glance at the feet. And I'm like, so what are you doing? And he goes, well, I'm just standing there staring because I'm trying to comprehend what I'm seeing. He goes, but then out of like the brush, this little figure walks up and stands next to
This
it.
is the weirdest part.
Weirdest story.
This is so weird.
He goes, and that's when I like something about that snapped me out of it. And I just turned around and hauled ass out of there. And I'm like
it has a handler, like a little
right?
weird.
Well, Scott Carpenter used to get, images and video of what looked like smaller entities with larger creatures.
Moondog Davis says Moloch.
So I'm like, have you ever told anybody this story? And he goes, or reported this to anybody? And he's like, who the hell am I supposed to report this story to? I'm reporting it to you guys. I'm telling you guys. He goes, it's not like I can just go tell somebody this, And he goes, and he looked around. He goes, there's like ghost people and UFO people and Bigfoot people. He goes, who am I supposed to report the upright black bull with burning red eyes and a little henchman to?
The Minotaur people.
The Minotaur people. And he goes, and I'm like, so you've never told anybody about this? And he goes, no. And you could just tell it was like a weight off his chest. Telling us about this. And we're just looking at each other going, somehow we're not shocked, So we get drawn in with Bigfoot reports, aggressive Bigfoot activity. We find large canine prints. We find small footprints. Now, we have not seen an upright bull, but this was a pretty damn compelling account.
I want to know if you want to make this connection here. At the beginning of our video, Hunting Bigfoot at Night, that was in the Grove, what drew us out into that area where we got lost at the Pine Swamp? We saw eyeshine in that field.
Yeah, we saw eyeshine. So when we did the video when we were lost on that little, we call it a pine swamp, we were going to a different area, but as we were driving this road at night, we catch really high up, really bright eye shine. And then we're past it and we're like going, did you see that? Did you see that? And we go, we've got to jump into the woods here. So
Yeah.
that's why we ended up in a patch of woods that we'd never really been in before there, because we were trying to see if we could find whatever that was doing that. Now I didn't see enough detail to tell you what it was. I just saw a tall shape with really bright eye shine.
Yeah.
That seemed pretty freaking big.
Yeah.
So we have all of that going on. But at the same token, we're mostly getting aggressive black shapes chasing me out of the woods. Now, only one person has reported seeing a Bigfoot there.
Directly
Okay.
seeing it.
Directly seeing it and getting, everybody else is a large black aggressive.
Except for the guy that lives on the edge who it tried to take his daughter.
Yeah, that guy.
His
too.
granddaughter.
Forgot about him. So how could I forget about him? But everybody else, the bow hunters are just reporting large black shadowy figures chasing them out. One guy had a real clear daytime sighting of a Sasquatch there, and nothing aggressive happened, but it's messed him up. He's
Yeah.
having like PTSD symptoms. He can't stop thinking about it, is how it's described to us. It's like in his head and he can't get it out. So then we start having all this weird stuff happen. And then we take somebody else in there with a mojo bag. Nothing happens, but I am picking up extremely intense electromagnetic and RF energy out there.
Yeah.
And my instant thing is that something is pissed off. Something is staying away, but we are picking up the residual effects of whatever we have introduced to this environment now.
Perhaps it was the blue ball meth minotaur.
The blue ball, save that comment. So I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, this is not what I expected from the original stories that we got leading us in here.
Yeah.
We were getting, and then what is the first thing that we really experienced there that was like kind of semi-major? Wood knocks.
Yes.
What's
At
more
that-
stereotypical? Yeah. Then, I mean,
The
wood
bamboo
knocks.
grove
Yeah.
there.
And then, so I don't know. At this point, we haven't had the dark kind of energy that we've experienced in North Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever is here is interactive like it is in North Georgia.
For sure. But it seems like it's a different flavor of things. It seems like in North Georgia, we've got things brought about by occult activity, but we've not found any evidence of occult activity in this particular area. So what is the initiating force of all of this? Like what is causing all this? At least in North Georgia, we kind of have some origination point, a possible origination point of what is causing this, what's feeding into this.
Well, so what's crazy about
this just a window area? Is this just an anomalous
we
area?
went to the
Bales
Grove
Center?
a few years ago, remember?
Yeah.
Because it's not that far from us. And we went there and we went there a couple times to test equipment out. And nothing weird ever happened to us. And then we just kind of like just dismissed it. You know what I'm saying? It's not as remote. It doesn't have the whole. You go out into North Georgia and some of those gravel roads, I mean, you're hours, that old mountain cemetery we go to, we're hours away from our vehicle on foot at that point. You have that feeling of like isolation when you're there. It's what you would imagine a place that you're going to experience anomalous activity to be like, right?
Yeah.
You don't get that feeling from the Grove when you're looking at it on the surface.
No.
But then when we started getting those reports and we went there, because we've had people that live in that area recognize it and have contacted us, and it's been a floodgate. Is that exaggerating at all?
Mhm. No.
We've had a guy, and he might even be listening right now, who was approaching it pretty skeptically. I got to reach back out to him because our email is like bogged down, man. If you've emailed us and you haven't heard back from us, we've got to slog through it. I got to take like a dedicated night just to go through the email. But
Tell me when that night is.
yeah, and then but he had talked about finding what looked like a dinosaur track out there.
Yeah.
So it's weird because it seems like that area has always been active for a decent amount of people, and it's like a poorly kept secret, but it doesn't show up in any of the reports. You don't see that on like the Bigfoot Mapping Project or the BFRO reports or anything like that at all. A lot of people are in that surrounding area, and it seems like a lot of people have experienced weird activity, and they just talk about it amongst themselves.
Well,
you
I
know?
mean, it's not the LBL. It's not
It's
these
not North Georgia.
hot spots. It's kind of tucked away in a way, you know.
And
It's just a small little blip.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think part of the reason why I want to tear away from it is because I like the remote aspect of this sometimes. I like being out hours away from people and
Yeah,
doing
like
that.
a place like North Georgia, where it's hours until the next paved road.
And that's not the case on the Grove.
Yeah.
But yet we go there and we're so if mental intention has anything to do with it, we were psyched for North Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put the video up. It's creepy as hell when we were out there. We're going down an old forestry road that is turning into like a pine forest. So we're going through pine saplings. You can only see like maybe a foot or two ahead of you. And we're doing this at night. And the longer we did it, all of a sudden the creepy factor like went away.
Yeah.
And we were just going, sometimes you get that feeling there's like nothing there. And then we were even going, all right, well, let's hike back and see.
I think it's important to trust your instincts on, do you sense something around? Is there an element of danger? And that can go either way. Like, you trust your instincts when there's nothing going on, and you trust your instincts if there's something happening. I don't know what.
And then sometimes you go to give up, and then we even said that, let's hike back and see if something tries to draw us back.
Yeah.
Never did. And we're looking at the moon going, I almost feel like we should be in the Grove right now. So we drove and got to the Grove, and then that's why we streamed so late. We were like, let's just stream. Let's just see what happens. We were streaming last time. Let's see what happens now. We took a bunch of sensor tech because we've had really weird anomalous activity in North Georgia. So our loadout was based upon North Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And we had all of that stuff because in and around that portal area and in and around that tree, we've got some really weird stuff before.
Yeah.
So then we were just like, well, screw it. Let's deploy a lot of this out there and see what happens now. And nothing happened. We had everything. We had the Geiger counter running. We had everything like that, and nothing happened. And then as we're packing up, we hear that bellow. And I guess that's the best way to describe it. It's like a bellow.
Yeah. And some people in the chat were asking, maybe akin to a bull's bellow.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Actually.
So they kind of made that connection.
That's so weird. I mean,
but that's such a strange story to me. And I feel crazy talking about.
I feel even crazier than normal talking about it. Because I'm going to tell you right now that the activity, what I kind of alluded to earlier, is very akin to Fae activity.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, it's pretty damn dead on for a lot of Fae activity.
So I've got
getting turned around in the woods, the will-o-wisp effect, the little footprints, the large canine footprints, large black figures that chase you out that nobody quite has a good sighting of. The abduction attempts that happened out there to the one family.
Yeah.
The one gentleman who sees Bigfoot in broad daylight, they just stare at each other almost, and that's just such a blatant sighting. Nobody else has had a blatant sighting. And then this guy has a blatant sighting, and he's more affected than even the guy who tried to take his granddaughter.
Yes.
Okay. And it's just, all of this is just tied in.
Yeah, that one guy is like in shambles.
This is the other with a capital T, capital O. This is the other. This is constant low-level high strangeness. That, and again, when I say we haven't seen anything major like we have in North Georgia or like we have in the LBL.
Yes.
But the hit rate is very, very high out there. The odds of something happening to us seem so greater, and it's small. And you know what? Sometimes it is. I mean, those weird owl noises, maybe it was a weird owl. You know what I'm saying? Owl having a weird night. That bellow was unlike, and then those
What's an owl having a weird night? I don't know if owls have weird nights.
But
like, did his girlfriend break up with him
maybe
or something like that?
Grace had asked, Jesse and Joe, so does the beacon give creatures, entities, things energy to grab, use? I guess I asked because I've always imagined that when batteries drain suddenly that something is stealing the energy. That was the idea.
Yeah.
Is that if these things are strengthened off of that, well, let's put a real strong, as strong as I can get, a magnetic field out there, an electromagnetic field, and then let's introduce this 1.6 gigahertz signal. And again, it's not majorly strong. We're not backing a truck in there, with like big pieces of equipment. It's backpack portable, but it's pretty damn strong.
Yeah.
So the idea
it has physical effects on anybody who's around it. It
I
had
don't
physical
think
effects
it's-
on me. You, it had physical effects on Katie when you
I
were
don't
around
think
it.
it's creating anything. I think that it could possibly strengthen something that was
Yeah.
already there or draw something in that was already there.
Mhm.
That's why we called it the beacon. We're putting out a light in the darkness. We're trying to get something's attention and draw it in closer. I don't think that it's strong enough to really generate anything on its own. The idea is it's either going to strengthen or attract something that's already there.
Yeah.
But we've got to deploy it to the Grove now. All right, here's the next experiment that we're going to have to do. And it breaks like the rules, but I need to go in by myself one night
Oh.
and stream and see
If
anything happens,
Okay.
because you're the constant on that. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people that I go into some of these areas and nothing happens without you. We haven't done that there yet.
No.
So I'm going to have to go in and one night solo
And see if anything
see
happens.
if anything happens when I'm there solo.
Are you going to take a mojo bag?
I'm not going to take a mojo bag. I'm going to go armed. I'm going to take a thermal imager. I'm not going to take the sensor tech just because I don't want to be fumbling with a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have to go
Yeah.
fairly lean. I'll run a recorder. I'll string up a pretty sensitive recorder.
I think you need to alter my battle belt for you and just carry that
I mean,
in a chest rig.
I'll go real light, but I'll go out there and I might even stream doing it. You know what I'm saying? So that way we have.
Should I be like back at a base or something, like monitoring?
I might do it when you're at work one night. So
That'd
that
be
way
kinda
it's just,
cool.
I mean, that way it's, and I might try to stream so that way if something happens or something doesn't happen, we have like independent witnesses that were there real time to see
Yeah.
what happened with it at that point.
That'd be a good thing to do. That's a good idea.
But I mean, and it's like I said, I mean, I know we avoid going out solo, but we got to do it. We got to do it. See if we have to start, like you said, treating it like a lab.
So I think us kind of getting into these experiments in this particular area is a good idea.
Mhm.
And then I think we ought to just live stream all of these experiences and all these experiments.
As we can. So
I think we should. I think at least we should do that for our members, that we should live stream all these experiments.
Dewstray popped this up. He goes, that rock wall and ditch y'all found in the woods looks like an entrenchment from the Civil War. We actually are on camera saying that. We didn't include that in the video, but we're even going, these look like emplacements, man. So.
I'm not sure. Somebody asked earlier about if that area was active, was like a particular site during the Civil War. I know that it was.
There were probably troops.
No, well, probably, but I do know that during the Revolutionary War, it was definitely a big spot. It was a big spot during the Revolution. So we've definitely got that. That'll feed into it as well. That might feed into the activity, but we know for sure that it was a site during the Revolutionary War.
Thank you there for that.
Karen Faust.
Karen Faust? Karen or Corinne?
Karen.
Corinne? But thank you for that very, very much. We appreciate it. So, we definitely appreciate it. Like I said, again, we're going through some equipment ramping. And now that we've got a little lab area, we're going to need to, there's some other stuff that I want to try to like maybe do out there. You know what I'm saying? So
super science and sorcery.
Super science, the Thundar the Barbarian approach. Super science and sorcery. So,
Jesse could be with the car. I'm not sitting at the car by myself. Nope, because I'll be.
Marcus had said earlier there's tons of cryptids situated outside of military bases. There are definitely. Henry White had asked about Civil War action. I don't know if there was any action, but it does look like those were. One area looks like literally like the things that you see like setting up like cannon, like Civil War cannon and all that. So.
Cowboy 4572 says, "Don't get 8, Joe."
I'm probably not going to get 8.
He's etching. He's been etching. Tim Dunlap, we have thermals. We have several thermals. We have 2 thermals.
We had 3, but
we had 3.
That's the way the thermal cookie crumbles.
We use them. So we use them in a lot of our stuff. We always have them with us. Always have them with us. Let's see. Sam Burton, he had Sam Burton had a
What was that?
mistype because the gay talk, the Fae talk. The gay talk is interesting. The Fae talk. Typo. Just find his SD card if he gets eaten. Yeah, that's important. That is important. Well,
we're wrapping up here in a few minutes, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna look through some of the stuff we starred.
We are going to be doing coming up. I was talking to the Dooster before we went live. We're going to be doing a little giveaway on Dooster's book, 12 O'Clock High, when the Associated Small Town Monsters documentary comes out with it. So we're going to do like a little giveaway.
Yep.
I was talking to him a little bit earlier, and we will be doing that coming up. So you guys get ready for that.
Yep.
Let's see what else we've got here. And
all right, so we're not going to go too late because let's make sure. Can you make sure that that is a go for me?
Okay.
And then we'll do that. I'm going to go through some of this chat here. What are we doing here? We need a cattle prod. Yeah, that's what we need. A cattle prod. Hellbent Holler. All right. Lone Star Sixer asks Hellbent Holler, have you encountered Bigfoot speech? We've encountered stuff we can't explain. We don't know if it's Bigfoot or not. We don't know what it is, but we've encountered semi-samurai chatter, and then whooping, howling, that kind of stuff. I don't know what the source is. We never definitively say what the source is unless we see what makes the sound. But we have recorded some pretty wild stuff. In North Georgia, we actually got something that sounded like some sort of two creatures arguing about something. So we've encountered something communicating with one another. So let's see. I'm going to go through some of these. I'm trying to find where we are. Oh, Martin's here. Hi, Martin. How are you doing, my man?
What's up, Martin?
I was watching Barton Underly's live the other day, and I was laughing so hard at Daryl Denton just with the lighter fluid, spraying it at the fire. And Martin is just sitting there just flinching back from the flames. And I'm waiting on Daryl Denton to catch everybody on fire.
All right.
Catherine Gay, I resemble that gay talk as a gay myself. All right, so you good to go on that?
I don't know. I'm looking right. Yes. So shoot on over, guys, at 9 p.m. Central, 10 Eastern.
Yeah, so at 9 o'clock, Barton on his channel is going to do a video. He got some pretty crazy audio in the LBL, and I think he's going to share that with you guys.
Pretty crazy audio.
Yeah.
We described it, Jesse described it as, do you guys remember that story from a few years ago where they had that bottomless pit in Russia and they lowered the microphone down into it?
Yeah.
And people were going,
sounds of hell.
Oh, those are the sounds of hell. That's literally what this vocalization.
Yeah, it's pretty
whatever.
wild.
It's intense. It's very, very wild. It is very wild. Do you have a link? What's that?
Martin goes, oh man, I had to trim my beard. And then Bristol goes, LOL, Daryl was a ball wrong with that fluid.
He just kept shooting.
All right, so you all watched that.
I'm
like, not the only person who was watching that. I thought he was going to catch them.
Thank you for that, Grace. We appreciate it. Thank
Grace.
you so much. So, but do you have the link for Barton's video? Is it showing
It's
up?
not for the video because he doesn't have a video queued up. I don't know if he's doing a live or if he's doing like a premiere.
It's gonna be a premiere.
It's not on here for me to link to, so he
just
doesn't
put a thing to his channel.
So here is the little linky dinky dink to his channel. I'll put that on there. How about that? All right, so I'm going to put this in the chat. This is a link to Barton's channel. If you want to head over there after we're done and check out that video he's going to premiere.
Just released that. We just put that link right there, Michael.
Yeah,
and
so it's crazy audio. We got to listen to it and take a little look at it yesterday, and it was pretty crazy.
It is. It's wild. It's wild. The bellow and then the screaming like afterwards that we caught's weird. This is like times 10. It's very, very, very bizarre. And I'm not sure what all he's going to put in that video for it at this point, but pop over at 10 Eastern, 9 Central is what
Lyle
I'm trying
Bolton
to spend.
plays the accordion, says, I play bass guitar with all kinds of effect pedals. The sounds from hell is faked. It's easy to do with some cheap standard guitar.
And don't
equipment.
kill my Sounds of Hell dreams there.
But it sounds like that.
Yeah, it sounds
like that.
Well,
but
it's not.
But it's an actual recording of like a screaming.
It's weird,
thing
man.
or whatever it is. It's pretty wild. We got to listen to it yesterday. I've got you're gonna have the original, and then I did some tweaking to it to kind of bring up the audio a little bit so you guys can hear it. But that's going to be over on Barton's channel.
Anyway, but thank you for everybody who did a super chat tonight. We appreciate that. Thanks to all of our new members that jumped in. Members are keeping this thing going right now.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show you guys some of that stuff from our member streams that we did the past week. I think we're going to do more of these member streams. I really enjoy doing those, especially if we're going to start doing experiments out in the Grove. We'll be doing that, and we'll be showing some of these experiments live to our members. That way you guys can kind of be there in the thick of it with us while we're kind of gathering all of this data. I think that's really exciting to just do everything live on location and share that with you guys like instantaneously. That's really, really fun. We really enjoy it. But yeah, that's going to be for members. If you join our membership, which the link is in the description below, you can join our membership and have access to those live streams that we're going to be doing from the Grove, where we're going to be doing these experiments.
Pork Chop Express coming in under the wire. Just investigated an area I have strong feelings about. The Little People legends have piqued my interest. This area is on the border of the old Choctaw and Cherokee land. Small Sasquatches seen there. Are they small Sasquatches, or are they? It's like the Yunwi Sundi is the Cherokee Little People. The Cherokee Little People, the whole Little People legends never really piqued my interest at all, be honest with you, until we started finding those little footprints in North Georgia and then looking into the lore a lot more. And there are people that are still having sightings to this day. And then certain parts of the country through here, it's accepted as matter of fact that these things exist. So let us know how everything goes out there, Pork Chop. And thank you for that. Thank you for that $9.99.
Yep.
We greatly appreciate it.
I love how everybody has watched Daryl almost kill everyone with the water fluid. And it's so funny. He's been demoted.
Suji says the whole thing. I was staring at the fluid the whole time thinking, is somebody going to take that away from Daryl before he sets himself on fire? Or he sets everybody else on fire. So, all right, guys, we are. All
right, I'm going to put that link to Barton's channel up again. Head on over there, and he's going to put that up.
It's going to be a premiere, so you guys will be able to chat while it's going on, I believe. So.
And check out that video. He's going to do that tonight and at about 9 o'clock. Take a look at that and let us know what you think it is, too. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild
crazy stuff.
So, all right, guys, thank you for joining us for another Hellbent Holler Live. We hope you enjoyed those little previews of some of our live investigations that we do for our members. We're going to start doing a lot more of those because those are a lot of fun to share that with our audience and our members and everything. But thank you guys for joining us for another Hellbent Holler Live. Looks like we're back in business. We're back to work.
The Grove is back on the menu, boys. So
Grove is back on the menu. North Georgia is still on the menu too. It looks like we just got a little busier though.
Hey, South Forest, how's it going, buddy? So,
but we are so excited that you guys could join us tonight, and I hope you guys have a great week. Be productive, be good, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm going to put some music on to take you guys out and follow that link. I'm going to put that link down there one more time for you to go to Barton's channel and check out that pretty wild audio that he captured in the LBL. So take a look at that, give it a listen, and we'll see you guys later. Later, taters. All right, I'm going to pick what song here? Ooh, this is a good one. This is a banger. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready? Bye, guys. Thank you. See you later.